Hey guys, welcome to United. Welcome to another video. And RB Leipzig 2, Atletico Madrid 1, and the German side have gone into the semi-finals of the UEFA Champions League. And I have to say that this was one hell of a game. It was very exciting to watch, in my opinion, although there were not many chances here or there, but the intensity that the two teams play with, especially Leipzig, I want to say that today watching Leipzig was very nice, as it always normally is watching Leipzig, whether it's for the good of themselves or in harming themselves. But Leipzig today played like they play against Tottenham, and they look like a very confident side. At moments they, dominated the game during a lot of moments during this game, and we're playing fairly well throughout. I thought that Leipzig, looked like a veteran side, or at least they didn't look like they were playing their first quarterfinals of the biggest European competition. And I thought that noticed because Atletico Madrid, you can criticize styles here or there, and I don't say that one style is better than the other in its totality, but knocking out Liverpool and then losing to RB Leipzig just shows you that football is unpredictable. Anything can happen, and now Leipzig will be facing PSG in the semifinals of the Champions League, and we're gonna have a team that probably I don't think they've ever reached the final of a European competition. Leipzig for a fact, and I'm pretty sure that PSG has never reached the final of a European competition. But without further ado, let's start with lineups and then go ahead and talk about the game. Leipzig ought to go with Gulassi in net, 3 at the back in Klostermann, Upamecano, and Halstenberg. In the wingbacks, Angelino and Konrad Laimer. In midfield, Kevin Campbell and Marcel Sabitzer. And up top they had Dani Olmo, Christopher Nkunku and Yusuf Poulsen. While Atletico Madrid opted to go with Oblak in net, Trippier, Savic, Jimenez, Lodi in defense, Carrasco, Saúl, Héctor Herrera and Koke in midfield. And up top, Marcos Llorente and Diego Costa. And okay, let's talk about what happened during this game. If I had to define what happened was, let's look at Luis Enrique's Barcelona, and you think that's probably the best compliment that I can give to RB Leipzig, is that they look like Luis Enrique's Barcelona. Obviously, they don't have Messi, they don't have Suarez, they're lacking, the likes of Busquets in midfield, but with similar tools, or with the tools that they have, they try to play in a similar play style, which was half possession football, half the possession, but at the same time be able to move very fastly into the other direction, look for the goal always, and that is something that is always being very similar of RB Leipzig. I think that is the best compliment I can give Julian Nagelsmann, is that he's pretty much adopted a similar style to what Luis Enrique did with Barcelona into his RB Leipzig team. They were missing the likes of Timo Werner because he's been training with Chelsea. Obviously, Chelsea wanted Werner to, start adapting to the team and stuff like that. So he's missing out on playing the quarterfinals and playing the semifinals. Yusuf Poulsen came back into the team after a long time injured. He was not meant to play this game. Actually, I'm pretty sure he wasn't meant to play any of the remaining Champions League before the break. But now that he looked fully recovered, he didn't look at his best, fitness-wise, game-wise, because obviously he's been away for a long time. And Nkunku had been playing very well this overall season. Dani Olmo, it's finding his feet. I thought that he looked a bit rash, but overall was pretty decent. He was the one to get the first goal. Savitzer and Campbell in midfield dominating. It was amazing. The distribution today from Leipzig, you can notice that they had a bunch of attacking midfielders in the pitch, because you had the likes of Savitzer, the likes of Campbell, Dani Olmo, Nkunku. Then you had the likes of Angelino and Laimer, who are pretty good. Overall, the passing today was very decent. Klostermann and Halstenberg, two fullbacks compared to center backs that can play out of the back, that are giving a very good transition for RB Leipzig. I thought was pretty solid. And for me, the MVP of the match today was Dayot Upamecano. He is one of the best center backs in the world, and if Barcelona want to sign him, please go ahead. Today has to be one of the best performances that I've seen in a center back. In at least this season, he's been one of the best performances I've seen. it's been incredible. Upamecano was bossing the defense. He was playing out of the back. He was dribbling from the back. Like, he was constructing. Like, it was just spectacular. He's young. He's a French international, so he would pair well with the likes of Clement Longley. So, I mean, I'm not saying to sign Upamecano, but if you're looking for a more proven center back, then I already mentioned the likes of Alaba. But if not, Upamecano definitely would be a really good option. In terms of Atletico Madrid, we've seen the conversion of Marcos Llorente from a defensive midfielder that he was at Alaves, at Real Madrid, and this season he was struggling to get game time. But since that Atletico Madrid faced Liverpool, it seems like Simeone found a new version of Marcos Llorente, and it's been a positive influence, I think, Marcos Llorente since the break. He's been playing a sort of a right attacking midfielder to almost a second striker that is arriving into the box, giving you a lot of work, and I think that's something that could be very positive for Atletico Madrid. Other than that, Diego Costa today was again missing during big parts of the game. Ferreira Carrasco was probably one of the better players that Atletico had today. Saul, Herrera, and Koke did some work, but it just seems like they were struggling. And that's overall what I can say about Atletico Madrid, is that they were pushed back. Like, when the game was equal in the same level, when they were with no goals, Atletico Madrid didn't play as well. They were sitting back. When they fell behind, is that they started playing more, trying to attack more. The big change was definitely Joao Felix. I think that he changed the game in a positive fashion. I think that impacted Atletico Madrid in a really good way. They started, mounting up pressure. And when they managed to get the penalty, I thought that Atletico Madrid were going to go out for the game. I thought that this is where RB Leipzig crumble, and this is where RB Leipzig were going to fall down. But Atletico Madrid just got the equalizer and sat back again. And I don't understand that. I think that Simeone should have gone for the game. Psychologically, that could have hurt RB Leipzig a lot. They didn't decide to. RB Leipzig stayed mentally strong, and they went for the game. And in unlikely fashion, they find a goal through Tyler Adams from a cross from Angelino, deflection from Savic, and into the back of the net. It's 2-1, and then it was just a survival. Just do whatever you can to get the game through, and that's what RB Leipzig did. They're going to be facing PSG, and I can already tell my prediction is going to be very odd, because I think that both PSG and RB Leipzig have chances to hurt each other. It's definitely, I think that the game is going to depend on what is PSG going to be able to do, and what is Mbappe, Di Maria, and Neymar going to be able to perform. Because if they can perform at a really good high level, then a lot of problems could be caused to RB Leipzig. But if the midfield is not strong enough, then they will have a lot of problems against the likes of Savic, Campo, that were spectacular today. Overall, it's going to be a battle of two teams playing really strong, very compact football. PSG has the tools to both defend and attack, and the same goes with Leipzig. Leipzig has really good defenders, and forcing can cause a lot of problems. I think that maybe Poulsen is not quite ready to be. I wouldn't personally start him, but I think Patrick Schick could cause a lot of problems to that PSG defense. But we'll see. It's going to be very exciting. That game, I believe, is on Monday, if I'm not mistaken, or maybe Wednesday or something like that. I'll be doing the match review. Tomorrow, Barcelona plays against Bayern Munich. And hey, there is a chance of anything can happen. Anything can happen in football. We can win this game for sure. It's going to be a tough opposition, but anything can happen. We've seen the unlikeliest things happen. Who would have thought that Atletico Madrid were going to fall to RB Leipzig after beating Liverpool, and that through very late into the game, Atalanta were going to be knocking out PSG before they had the comeback. So anything can happen. Lyon has knocked out Juventus. Football is unpredictable. Anything can happen, and I hope that Barcelona just give their all and are able to perform to the best of their ability. Anything else that I can say about the game? I think that Oblak is still one of the best goalkeepers in the world. The performance from the fullbacks was high and low during some moments. I thought that, there was some time wasting from Atletico Madrid. I thought that instead of fighting with the referee, you should be going out for the game, because you're losing and you have a few seconds remaining. Other than that, I have to say everything was solid. I think that it was an adaptation period for Atletico Madrid this year. I think that they're going to keep improving. They had a lot of changes, a lot of signings coming in. And RB Leipzig, I call them to be dark horses of the season. I thought they were going to, battle for the Bundesliga. At the end, they failed to compete with Bayern against a really good Bayern. And now they're in the semifinals, and who knows, anything can happen. They might be in a final. And in a week's time, we might be saying that RB Leipzig will be facing Barcelona in a Champions League final. Who knows? Anything can happen in football. But with that said and done, guys, leave me all your opinions about the game in the comment section below. Comment, like, and subscribe. And I'll see you next one, Blaugranas.